Welcome to my channel, Crystalheartcrafts. In this video, I will share the basics of making a scrunchie. The idea of finding a way not to break your hair. You will find that the answer is using a scrunchie. When you research how to make a scrunchie, the first thing you will find out, before opening any post or videos, is the actual measurements. For the basic scrunchie, 3.5 inches or 9 centimeters. By 18 inches or 36 centimeters rectangle of a fabric, 12 centimeters or 4.75 inches elastic with a width of 1/4 inch. There is a lot more to making a scrunchie than the given measurement. You have 5 different areas you can change to customize your scrunchie. Those 5 areas are fabric choice, color and print, measurements of the fabric, elastic thickness, and the sewing method. Fabric choice. The type of fabric is the most common option to ignore. Fabrics like cotton and silk are considered the fabric to go with. Each type of fabric has a different quality that are either plus or minus for your hair. Some materials like silk might look nice and make a beautiful scrunchie if you pair it with another fabric. The one factor people will pair with the type of fabric is the color and pattern of the fabric. Color and print. The one area of making a scrunchie everybody knows. When you buy a scrunchie, you choose the color or the pattern print. You choose the color or the pattern print on the scrunchie. When you go to the shop to buy some fabric to make a few scrunchies, the choice became too overwhelming. Choosing between the type of fabric and the color and print, how you want your scrunchie to look, this can get you started thinking of running away if you are not ready for a lot of experiments. Measurements of the material. What size you're going to use for making a scrunchie. Do you want to stick to the measurements I already gave you? No? Well, you can get a notebook out and get ready to experiment to get the size you want for your scrunchie. Try changing the width of the fabric. Do you want to be a narrow or wide scrunchie? Do you want the material as long as the elastic can stretch, or with a bit of puffy? You can go crazy with the tons of puffiness in the scrunchie. Elastic thickness. The research will tell you to use 1/4 inch thick elastic, but you do not have the correct thickness on hand? No problem. You can use whatever width you like. The reason why I think everybody recommends 1/4 inch elastic has to do with tying up your hair. It doesn't mean you have to use that thickness of elastic. Something small that you could focus on when choosing the thickness is how you will be sewing the elastic. Sewing methods. There are 2 basic ways to sew a scrunchie. The first sewing option is the burrito method. Step 1. Sew the short ends together to form a tube. Step 2. Place the fabric on your table. Have the wrong sides of the fabric on the outside. Step 3. Fold the top layer of the fabric as narrow as you can, 1/3 of the width or smaller. Step 4. Fold the bottom layer that the edges meet. Step 5. Sew the edges together. As you stitch your scrunchie, pull the inside fabric towards you. This will allow the piece far from you to come closer. Step 6. Leave about 2 inches or 5 centimeter gap. Step 7. Push the fabric through the gap so you can turn it inside out. Step 8. Place the elastic inside the tube. Step 9. Tie or sew the elastic ends together. Step 10. Sew the opening of the scrunchie closed. The second method is to sew the tube lengthwise. Step 1. Fold the fabric widthwise in half. Step 2. Sew the edges together. Step 3. Turn the tube right side out. Step 4. Thread the elastic through the tube. Step 5. Tie or sew the ends of the elastic together. Step 6. Fold the one end of the fabric by about a 3/8 of an inch or 1 centimeter towards the inside. Step 7. Place the edge with the raw edge showing into the tube by about 3/8 of an inch or 1 centimeter. Step 8. Sew the 2 ends together to close the opening of the scrunchie. There are multiple ways to customize the 2 method, where you can get a lot more ways to sew up a scrunchie. Here are a few ideas on changing the method. Make it your own way. Instead of elastic, use a hair tie. You can sew or tie the elastic together before you sew the fabric together. With the second method, you can sew a few centimeters from the edge. This will allow you to sew the ends of the fabric together to have a gap in the seam on the outside. With the first method, you can change where your gap is in the width of the seam of the fabric. I am sure there are other ways to alter the 2 methods I gave you.